New at 11, let's check in with News 13's Elizabeth Lamb, who's live in the newsroom. And Elizabeth, how are campuses around the PD gearing up for the new school year?
Well, Wendy, both Coastal Carolina and Francis Marion plan to continue safety programs from years past, like texting alerts to students. But as I found out, campus safety reports don't necessarily get a good feel for how students really stay safe. These drains, which you can see all around Florence, were built during the Depression era to help put civilians back to work. Neither the city, county, nor state are taking responsibility for cleaning them. They say if it's not broken, don't fix it. Drivers get in their trucks, put on their safety helmets, and attach their 5-point seat belts. The American Lung Association gave South Carolina an F when it comes to healthy lungs. He's not letting a rigorous exercise schedule slow him down. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Like making balloon hats. But others know there's a more serious reason for celebrating July 4th. Because the state couldn't afford it. That's when the city of Bennettsville decided to add a few to help keep the lake clean.
Tonight, News 13's Elizabeth Lamb explains how the Saturday parking lot mission is still in full force after well more than a decade.
Okay, next person.
Rain or shine, volunteers meet in this parking lot every Saturday to make sure there's always food on the table. Volunteer Jerome Goodwin takes a little, but he has his own way to say thank you.
Someone have gave to me, and I knew they gave to me, so it's time for me to try. I want to try to learn to give back to let people know that I care too.
Goodwin works nearly every Saturday before and after each mission to help keep the parking lot clean and to help keep things running smoothly. He's had first-hand experience with what it's like not to know where your next meal's coming from.
It's hard to even think about something like that. I mean that's a bad thing though.
For some, this is just an empty parking lot. But on Saturdays, it turns into much more for as many as 300 people.
Next.
Volunteer coordinator Carol Roach started the mission team when she realized there was nowhere to turn for those with a hungry belly on the weekends.
We're like one big family that we look for each other every week, and if someone isn't there the next week, we'll ask what happened. There's nothing that we haven't been able to give away in all these years. I mean, we've given away furniture, kitchen utensils, everything.
The Saturday morning mission team has grown into much more than anyone expected, but the area's need has grown too.
We did everything by word of mouth. A lot of people, we would put signs up, but they couldn't read.
I thank all of them for what they do, and I'm glad I'm a part of it. I am very glad I'm a part of it.
The mission team plans to keep serving it up as long as there are people to serve. In Florence, I'm Elizabeth Lamb, News 13. Racers revved up their engines and got down to the dirty work, coating their trucks with mud, all in the name of mud racing. 14-year-old Colby Jackson, who came to Marion from Benson, North Carolina, says the adrenaline rush of racing keeps him behind the wheel.
You're scared when you get on a roller coaster too, but it ends up being fun.
Although he's too young to race, he knows more about mud racing than your average teenager, and even named the truck he inherited from his grandfather after a cartoon character, the Underdog. Race organizer Daryl Jones says events like these are a family affair.
Well, that's just something the whole family can do. I mean, I've been mud racing now since 2000, and everybody in our family gets involved.
The idea is to get through the track as quickly and safely as possible. Before they hit the track, drivers get in their trucks, put on their safety helmets, and attach their 5-point seat belts. Mud coats the trucks, but what about all the muddy laundry?
You know, I get a little bit of lip on that, because I get pretty muddy sometimes.
But as the racers say, they've even got mud in their blood. In Marion, I'm Elizabeth Lamb, News 13.
Tonight, News 13's Elizabeth Lamb takes you backstage of this year's South Carolina Dance Theater's performance of this Christmas classic.
We only have 45 minutes until curtain.
That's pretty lipstick, Caitlin. Thank you. Does this look good so far? I think so. Okay. There we go. We good? Mm-hmm.
Ready for music? Okay.
And thanks to Elizabeth Lamb for putting that together. She adopted one of the horses. It's an emotional story, and new tonight at 11, Elizabeth joins us live with more. Elizabeth?
Animal cruelty cases are on the rise, and farm owner Denise Hughes knows that all too well. She's helped nurse plenty of malnourished horses back to life over the years, but one she calls Tank holds a special place in her heart. But we do want to warn you, some of the images in this story may be graphic. When the Humane Society got in touch with farm owner Denise Hughes, she knew she couldn't turn this malnourished horse away.
I love him, and this one, out of all my rescues that I have done, is the one that I can't let go.
Hughes calls him everybody's horse, thanks to donations that have poured in like food to help turn this 450-pound horse, malnourished to the point of seeing his ribs, into this horse, who now has a comfortable home. He's one of 48 animals discovered at a Williamsburg County farm back in August. Since then, he's gained nearly 300 pounds and enjoys his new life at the farm. Florence Area Humane Society President Jane Boswell says a horse can be a great pet if you know what you're getting into.
A lot of people think, oh, I'll just put it in my backyard, I've got grass and it'll be fine.
Boswell says they've seen animal neglect cases on the rise lately and added that horses require a lot of care, just like any other pet. Tank has plenty of four-legged friends on the farm. Hughes makes sure to care for all of her pets, but wants to keep the twinkle in Tank's eye around. Boswell says it's a miracle that Tank is still alive, and there's no way he could have survived this winter if he still looked the way he did in the summer.
When the whole back spine of the horse protrudes and the hips, that's a really sad thing.
Hughes is thankful for all the help along the way. She's hoping Tank will live a long life surrounded by caretakers who love him.
He is our mascot for hope, that where there is breath, there is life.
She says Tank has a will to live, inspires everyone who meets him, and is becoming stronger every day. Humane Society investigators say they're still looking into how the horses arrived at the farm. They believe they were dropped off at the Williamsburg County farm by someone who simply didn't have enough resources to care for them. Reporting live in the studio tonight, Elizabeth Lamb, News 13. The FBI is investigating a possible hate crime right here in Florence. It started with the broken edge of a coffee mug, and it's ending up with an arrest warrant for a young man named Chase McClary, who the victim didn't even know. I sat down with a family in Dillon who faced a house fire, a burglary, and now cancer to see how they've pulled through. It's an organization no one wants to join, an honor no one wants to receive. But for those who had a son or daughter die during war, their gold stars are still shining bright. When Florence's only adoption agency closed its doors in 2008, members of the community felt a void they set out to fill. The result is an organization they're calling the Miracle on Evans Street.